Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss the uploads that come up. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest. So if you're interested in the Kutika podcast, you'll find a playlist for that. For news and trends, there's a playlist for that. Exclusive with MD90, a bunch of playlists that are created based on your interest. So the easiest way to navigate the channel is head straight to the playlist and you'll find what you're here for. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Right next to the subscribe button is a join button. You click on the join button so that you can become a member of the channel. You support the team on the production and a number of things that we're doing here, and we appreciate that.
Well, a number of things have happened as of today. As you may be aware, just a couple of hours ago, it marked exactly 3 months since the former president Edgar Chagwa Lungu died. And new developments have come up in the last couple of hours. So let me update you of what's going on. Different sections of society are reacting to a number of things. One of the things that has been trending is this statement by Sishuwa. He had put up a statement some time back in August last month, where he alleged to say, if there is any substance to the account linked to rumors that Hakainde Hichilema may run mad or die unless he sees the body of Edgar Lungu by 5th September, then the president is after today's court development slowly running out of time. Lungu died on 5th June. So Sishuwa put up that rumor, and I don't know what substance where you're standing with this. So a number of people were reacting to it, considering the data they put on it there been just a couple of hours ago. So George Mutongo was the first person to react to it. He tagged President Hakainde Hichilema and says, "Boss, they don't pay Friday, they don't pay 5. Murfia, we know," asking the president. I had no idea that this Sishuwa guy was this shallow, simply calling Sishuwa's post very shallow and petty. So that was one reaction. A number of people had the same reaction with regard to Sishuwa's statement that he put up. And you can see the same statement was shared by the BBC, and a number of international media platforms had picked up a story of that statement that Sishuwa had put up, stating to say by 5th September that would happen, and nothing has happened. And then Reverend Walter Mambazi was one of them who also put up a thought. He shared the same post that was put up by the BBC. He says only one thought in Kanyam Kachasu is, so he simply says these are stories that are told in beer halls which have no substance, because really he was regarded as an intellectual to have put up such a statement without any substantial standing. To which Sishuwa responded because he was being tagged in that post and it was being reshared. So he put up that particular post on 15th of August 2025, the one that he was alleging to say something would happen by 5th September. And his response, after a number of people are calling him out, he says, it seems that this post had left many praise singers gravely worried. Going by the number of those that are resharing it today, is an expression of relief. As an expression of relief, they are so excited and in the celebratory mode that they are even ignoring the very first words of my post, which is "if" it tags, and replacing "may" with "will." If they are not purposely misunderstanding what I said, then the praise singers lack the basic comprehension skills. Is a pandemic. So his response says the people that are tagging him in that post are simply misunderstood his English. But in as much as he might want to say it's an English phrasing in that sense, the bone of contention or the underlying message was that the fact that he had put up a rumor which has failed to be substantiated by anything. So you cannot just put up something and come and justify it to say, no, it's based on the English that I used. I said if and may or will, as compared to what is in the post. So really, he just has to own up to say he had put up substantiated rumors that have not yielded anything. And one thing that is nice is that the president's handlers today were very active to make sure the public is aware that the president is very well. He had a number of engagements, meetings, the president's whereabouts were very active. Were very public today, because that's a good thing. Had the president just decided to take the day off or be silent, it would have fed into Shishuwa's rumors. But today's president's page was very active at State House, a number of meetings that he was had. And that is what made people laugh at Shishuwa's statement to say, you can't just pick something from the thin air and say, no, by 5th September, this is likely to happen. In as much as you phrase it in in an English term where you're trying to be on the safe side, if it does not work out according to your analysis, and then you come and just use, no, people are misunderstanding my English. No, the fact is that you put up a rumor which was not substantiated. It has not yielded any of the things that you highlighted, and that's what people are calling you out for. It's as simple as that. So any person that is reasonable will simply own up to that and simply say, hey, no, sir, I had no grounds to make such statements. And I feel Sishuwa is not in the country. For most of the statements that he's been putting out, I think he's in the state of Chifetayari, where he's living in a foreign land and then issuing those statements outside there. Because I'm pretty sure he would have been already arrested for some of these statements. But anyway, let's wait and see how that plays out. But yeah, so whatever he had put out didn't play out in any way. But on the other hand, there's a number of platforms who are reporting to say today, 5th September marks exactly 3 months since Edgar Chagalungu passed on. Obviously, that has been obvious. And then Mausampa, Material Member of Parliament, also reiterated the same point. He says it's 90 days, which is just 3 months, 90 days today since you left us, Your Excellency. And then he puts up an image of his interaction with Edgar Chagalungu. And he says, we pray for your smooth burial and may your soul keep resting in eternal peace. And then he puts up a picture, Edgar Chagalungu doing Chimbuya in 2022 at a burial of ex-Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Finance, Alexander Chikwanda there. So is remembering Edgar Chagalungu with that image of the Chimbuya they had. Obviously, the same statement. It says on June 5th, 2025, Zambia lost its only surviving president, Edgar Lungu, and today marks exactly 90 days without him being buried. So that continues to be the state of affairs. And there's been some progress with regard to that government and the family. And this is what I'm referring to. So the Ministry of Information and Media put up that statement. So a joint statement by the government of the Republic of the government of Zambia and the family of the late President Edgar Lungu. The government of Zambia and the family of the late President Lungu are pledged are pleased to announce that they have commenced formal discussions to resolve the outstanding issues. In the spirit of cooperation and mutual respect, both parties have agreed to employ a mediated process to find solution in honor of the late president's dignity and meets the family's concerns. The government and the family kindly request that stakeholders and the general public respect the privacy of these discussions and allow the mediation process to unfold without undue influence or speculation. So that's a joint statement that has come from the government of the Republic of Zambia and the Lungu family, which has been signed by Patrick Chagwa, the Secretary to the Cabinet, and also Makebi Zulu, the family spokesperson. So that's a statement simply saying, as of 5th September, the Zambian government and the Lungu family have started formal discussions, and this time around they're using mediators to come to a conclusion. Obviously, compromises have to be made from both sides, from both government side and also the Lungu family, for an amicable solution to be found. And from the look of things, probably the solution will be found even before Monday, because today is Saturday and they have got a court appearance. So I assume they would like to resolve this issue by Monday, so that when they do appear in court, it will just be announcing what they've resolved outside court, an outside court settlement, and then probably announce a date when Edgar Chagalungu's body can be brought back to Zambia if they come to that agreement. But from the way things have been playing out the past couple of hours, it looks like that's the direction that's likely to happen between now and Monday. So that's a statement coming from the government and the Lungu family. It's a joint statement which has been co-signed by those two individuals. And then Chifatari weighed in. He says, I will borrow the words of Judge Aubrey the Dabwa of South Africa to say, I hope it is a real light at the end of the tunnel, not just a train coming in in the discussions with the family. So that's what's going on there. Obviously, the statement has been reshared. A number of people are pleased to say it's a co-issued statement, and this time around, only those two people can weigh in. That's the Secretary to the Cabinet and the Makebi Zulu. To which Mao Sampa says, I commend both sides, family and government, for this development. It seems now there is a there is a tunnel, and hopefully the light may surface sooner. So that's Mao Sampa's viewpoint. Happy with that. And then the Pretoria High Court, we on Monday 8th September 2025 hear Lungu family application for leave to appeal. So obviously that's the date when they will appear in court. And most likely, if these discussions yield results, to just be announcing to the court to say an out of court settlement has been reached. Otherwise, that means the fight continues. They have to run the entire process, finish the Supreme Court, and if the government wins again, probably the Lungu family might appeal, then go back to the Constitutional Court. That's the entire process, which just simply means this entire year might finish with that fight still ongoing. But if it is resolved by Monday, we would get clear direction on whether Edgar Lungu is coming or not. And then Chief Etari says pretty much reiterating the same point of that. But in other news, UPND Lusaka province chairperson Obvious has urged party members and supporters to mobilize and ensure to deliver 4 million votes to President Hakainde Hichilema in 2026. So that's the target for Mariteta. He says President Hakainde Hichilema should get 4 million votes. And then Socialist Party Secretary General, Media Director, Brian Apunda simply put up the same post and asked a number of questions. Where will the 4 million votes for Hakainde Hichilema come from? There are 4 types of votes in any election, and he says the first vote is the merit vote, the second vote is a sympathetic vote, and then the third vote is a tribal vote or regional vote, and the fourth vote is a revolt or revolutionary vote. So he has to say, amongst those 4, where is President Hakainde Hichilema's 4 votes? I mean, 4 million votes that Mariteta targets going to come from? Obviously, that's just a back and forth between the Socialist Party and the UPND, because in the comment section that he had put up, Mulenga Mukangu Victor responded to Brian Apunda. He simply says, okay, fine. If you're asking where is Hakainde Hichilema going to get those 4 million votes, then where is Fred Membe going to get a bare or a mere 50,000 votes then? Because really his performance in the by-elections, or the Socialist Party's performance in the by-elections, has been pathetic also. So not even a million, just 50,000 votes. Can Fred Membe even garner up that number of votes? He asks. Obviously, Brian Apunda responds to say, watch this space. Don't be mistaken by Zambians' silence to think Zambians are happy with Hichilema and the UPND government. So that's the response to that. Obviously, people building up to the 2026 elections. The Master Newspaper can say it's a landslide rejection. A landslide victory has backfired on Hichilema, and the UPND says Changara. So obviously the opposition there jabbing at UPND and President Hakainde Hichilema as we head into 2026. Obviously, 10.5 million voters in 2026. I don't know if that's a ECZ target, or those already registered voters at this point. And then with regard to Bowman Lusambo's situation, as we might be aware, he's been given a new jail sentence, and his house in Chamba Valley has been repossessed. So his lawyer put up this statement. He's simply saying, Bowman Lusambo's lawyer wonders why a child named after former President Edgar Lungu should be homeless. So I don't know if his lawyer is being serious here or being petty, because you cannot use the fact to say if the father is alleged to have committed a crime and the properties that he has, he cannot explain the source of the wealth. And then now the property has been repossessed just by the mere fact that the child is named after the late President Edgar Lungu. Then the consequences of that theft should not be felt on that mere fact. I don't get the logic of this lawyer. I don't know if he's just having fun at this point in court, eating Bowman Lusambo's money, or because that statement makes no logical sense, really. That's not grounds to say just because the child is named after Edgar Lungu, then the house should be kept on that mere fact, in as much as it's been proven to say it's stolen. It makes no sense at all. Anyway. That's why me say I was abducted and injected with an unknown substance by the Zambian state agency in Harare, Zimbabwe, before being sneaked back into Zambia. Why me tells Lusaka Magistrate Court. So why me is having his court session there. And then Chiefs want Bill 7 back. Muti, obviously. That debate continues, and then the Ministry of Justice has written to various friendly stakeholders with a view to establish a technical committee to fast track public consultation for the purpose of reinstating some form of Bill 7 as we head into 2026, and that's according to Emmanuel Mwamba with regard to that news headline. And a number of people have weighed in, say governance activists condemn Speaker's role in Bill 7 debate because it's sitting up again, it's likely to go back in Parliament, and that's what people are not happy with. Obviously, it's the same news headline there. And then Laz has responded. That's the Law Association of Zambia. The Daily Nation says Laz wants Speaker Muti and Attorney General there. Obviously, over Bill 7, they'll be in contempt of court by Monday if they do not retract that bill or some form of it. Then they will likely to face a lawsuit. Anyway, that debate continues. Why me think they are traitors. Zasu praise singers have betrayed Zambians. That's according activists. On the other hand, PF battles continues. Patriotic Front unleashes on KBF. He appears to legitimize illegality and lawlessness. As you may be aware, KBF a couple of hours ago issued a statement where you're saying, in as much as Lusambo has admitted to say the conversation that he held at Mulungushi was an illegality which made him become president and Chabinga get into office. That was an illegality. Hence, they cannot be office bearers. But he wants probably the Patriotic Front to either submit under Zambia Must Prosper or some form of opposition alliance, to which the Patriotic Front has simply put their foot down, simply saying, if the Patriotic Front is going to be part of an alliance, the president of that particular alliance is supposed to come from the Patriotic Front. It's as simple as that, and now that's where the debate is and the confusion within the opposition. Let's wait and see if they can resolve that. But in reality, it does not look like they are able to resolve that. Each member of the opposition is got an ulterior motive and an agenda, and each one of them feels they are the right candidate to be president, and they're not willing to serve under anyone. And considering that the only people that have clout in that particular opposition is still the Patriotic Front, on what grounds would you want the Patriotic Front to submit to you when you have no political ground and you are, what are you bringing to the table is a conversation here. So that's where the opposition is at. Let's see how that plays out. And that's the news, ladies and gentlemen.